I don't think Super Mario Sunshine needs any introduction. You've likely heard all the things said about the game, from the atmosphere, voice acting, weird story, the glitches, and many other things that would take too long to even begin to mention. But one thing I don't see a lot of people talk about these days is the development of the game and the modding scene. For the most part of Sunshine's life, the modding scene has been quite minimal up until recent years. Before its release, the game was meant to be so much bigger and different, more areas to explore, a whole new way to get from areas, via a train system, enemies that were later scrapped, and a world where we didn't have to collect 240 coins, making up a large chunk of the playtime. But due to time constraints, and I'm also guessing the power of the GameCube at the time being the equivalent of a Samsung smart fridge, we only got a fraction of the areas the developers wanted to put in the game. Most of the ideas they wanted to add were resort to the cutting room floor, from entire areas being nothing more than just a few lines of code, to just a single test room that left a lot of old ideas Nintendo had for this game, like the trampoline stew, and a football which would eventually be reprised as a durian. I would always look at some of the old Mario 64 mods like Star Road and many others that have been released, and got a little jealous, but thankfully it wouldn't take too long for Super Mario Sunshine fans to get some succulent seafood of their own with Super Mario Eclipse.
Is that a bottle of Fiji water?
Mario Eclipse is not only the entire McDonald's breakfast menu, and not only gives you a real toy in your kids' meal, but also comes with a homemade beef Wellington by Gordon Ramsay himself.
Here, you'll go head-to-head against the greatest chefs on Roblox.
Gordon Ramsay, what the fuck am I looking at?
This hack might be the closest thing we ever get to world peace. If Mario 64 fans got their Star Road almost 10 years ago, my God, it's finally about time Sunshine fans got their version of Star Road. While there have been other Mario Sunshine mods prior to Eclipse, a lot of them are either minimal or parkour maps to character swap outs. This is likely the most ambitious one to release in some time, completely reworking the game's engine from quality of life improvements, like adding an auto-save feature for every blue coin or sunshine you collect, the game giving you the option to play on widescreen and 60 FPS right out the box, which vanilla was meant to have 60 FPS, but once again, remember it's the GameCube, so. The ability to long jump.
Oh my God, you get a long jump in this? Hello? Hello? I didn't even realize that Super Mario Sunshine was the only 3D Mario game to not include the long jump. But the developers decided to add it back in, and it works just as well as you could imagine.
Bringing back scrapped areas and adding new ones like Urto Rock, a place Nintendo considered working on, but ultimately scrapped. An entire original soundtrack, and oh yeah, you heard that right. Brand new areas for you to explore. This feels like a DLC add-on pack to the base game. And honestly, I'm a little surprised it hasn't won Game of the Year. Like, come on, if we're adding Shadow of the Earth on the Game of the Year, this should surely get it, right? Because trust me, this game is big. And when I mean big, I mean big. Packed to the brim with so much content on top of the base game it comes along with. For example, Yoshi no longer requires fruit to be used, and you can run around as Green Yoshi, something that was in the beta of Sunshine, and he could even swim, akin to Super Mario Galaxy 2. The Eclipse team actually went back and patched out so many of the old glitches, and while the glitches were not Sonic 06 levels of absurd,
Please. Just knowing that the Eclipse team removed almost every single glitch that could occur just shows how much care they put into polishing this game to truly be the best way to experience Sunshine. It's akin to how Project 06 is also the best way to experience Sonic 06. That doesn't even include the changes made to Flood, such as the hover nozzle. Now has a burst jump which can help you get the extra little boost, saving your life in a lot of situations. You can control the speed of the jet nozzle and the rocket nozzle, while no major changes, just functions a little better. Also, you can spray the ground while sliding, giving you some more speed than you already could get, and paired that with the right tools can send you flying. My name is Twitterman Far. What the hell's going on with the camera? You can now ground pound underwater, making vertical movement just a little extra bit faster. And to top that off, if you do a ground pound on land, you can jump out of it akin to Super Mario Odyssey. And if you combine that with the hover nozzle, you can get some insane heights. Don't get me wrong, while these quality of life changes are great and all, the real meat and potatoes of this ROM hack are without a doubt the new stages. There being over 20 new locations with an extra 120 shine sprites to come with it. The way the developers managed to make the game feel so connected, like it's not just put there without any rhyme or reason, makes the game world feel so cohesive and connected. It's like as if they were building the world first and then a video game after, with many new entrances and exits that perfectly streamlined the whole game without making it feel jarring. I remember as a kid being so fascinated that I could see almost all of Isle Delfino at some points of the island depending on where I looked. I wanted to be able to just run to a certain area and just be transported. And this ROM hack delivers on that childlike dream. It reminds me in a way to some open world games like Skyrim, Tears of the Kingdom, and Elden Ring. If you can see it, you can most likely run to it. Another thing as well is that this ROM hack is overflowing with so many new things to not only do, but so much to see. There are just so many areas to talk about, like this one, and hell, even this one, and all these ones, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Some of the standout ones being the obscure ones, such as Urto Rock. It's said he built into the side of the volcano, which, fun fact, was actually one of the original areas Nintendo planned on working on, but as we mentioned earlier, was resorted to just a few lines of code. Lighthouse Island, believe it or not, being a lighthouse, which acts as a midway point that gets you to many places such as Pina Park, Gelato Beach, Serena Beach, and Rico Harbor. Red Lily City being a small getaway town miles away from Delfino Plaza. Somewhat reminds me of something you would see in Tenerife. I have no idea why, it just does. It might be the vibes, it might be the industrial stuff, who knows? Pianta Village Pit. It was once just a purplish void in vanilla that once hid a swastika made out of coins and is now almost an Ewok-esque area, where only the unfortunate few fell into the void and wait for their eventual rescue, which likely isn't coming. Hotel Lacrima, from not just the exterior, but the interior and the beautiful music, arcade area, mafia hideout, it's got everything a tropical hotel has going for it. Warship Island being this battle area that is taking... Dude, that's like such weird fucking wording. Who wrote this shit? Oh wait, I did. Warship Island is set in a battle between the Piantas and the pirates, and you are drafted to fight off the pirates. The whole vibe from the music, level design, and secret underground bunker feels like something akin to Banjo-Kazooie. Also, the train system being a quick way to get around Delfino Plaza, taking you to some old and new areas like Rico Harbor, Urto Rock, Lacrima Hotel, and Serena Beach. Even having a secret shine sprite, if you talk to the right people, that is. The soundtrack, cool! Let's talk about the soundtrack. There are some absolute certified bangers on it, from the aforementioned Lacrima Hotel, Urto Rock, the tutorial theme. There are just so many goddamn good songs on there. Like, there are some actual genuine bangers on this album. And you know what? I'll even say it as it is. I listen to some of these songs while I'm working out. Like, if you see me pump an iron in the gym, just know I'm listening to the tutorial room. Overall, this ROM hack is incredible with almost no flaws to its name. It's quite literally the book definition of peak fiction. My only one gripe is there are a couple of moments in the game that have me rolling my eyes out of sheer boredom, like this dumbass slide which has really strict checkpoints with almost no way to have fun by jumping to the bottom. Some of the items you go to in the post-game are kind of hit and misses. However, talking about hits and misses in this game, without a doubt, the biggest W this game has going for it is the other playable characters. That's right. Not only can you play as Mario, but now Luigi and Il Pantissimo. Are you sleeping on the job? When I saw that I could play as Luigi once I beat the base game of Sunshine, it was like a jump scare. I wasn't ready for it. The same goes for Pantissimo. You can now play as Il Pantissimo. How do I do that? Hang on, I gotta figure this out. How do I do that? Hey, yo! And these guys aren't just a simple model swap. No. They have their own individual attributes, with Luigi having a higher jump and taking no fall damage, to Pantissimo having no flood, but insane movement and a double jump, which just feels criminal. Oh my god. Whoa, what the hell? His moveset's crazy. He jumps so high. Should be added to Smash. That's what we've all been saying, man. But no, they opted for the fucking plant. Some of the things you can pull off with Pantissimo is insane. Though, with Mario now compared to the rest of the cast, makes him look like a hard mode when you swap back to him, and honestly, feels quite inferior to the rest. As anything Mario can do, Luigi or Pantissimo can do just as well. It almost makes me think about wanting to return to beating Sunshine without the flood, but hey, we'll leave that for another video, or in 10 years time when I give a shit. If there's one thing I would have liked to have seen, however, implemented in this game, it would have been a way to track the blue coins, as there are now a whopping 420 of these motherfuckers. And if you were to 100% this game, I honestly would recommend using a tutorial, at least for the ones you are struggling on, because if you want to experience the true post-game content, you're going to need all the help you're going to get to reach that goal. That's not even a joke. If you want to experience the secret final boss and the extra stuff the devs put in the game, you need to get all 420 of these blue coins and 240 shine sprites. And while what you're seeing in the background may be considered a spoiler, which it is, it's a very small percentage of the new stuff that was added because, like we said, this ROM hack is pretty big. One other thing I will mention is if you actually get everything in the game, you can actually disable all the new additions to the game, like the upgraded flood, abilities, bringing back the old glitches, and whatever the hell this is. On the other hand, it is nice that getting everything in the game, you're actually rewarded with more than just a postcard, because, dude... I'm at a loss for words. Super Mario Eclipse is the rare case where the ROM hack exceeds what the original game ended up doing what Nintendo could never dream of pulling off 20 years ago. It actually blows the original game out of the water by a landslide, and aside from the few complaints in some parts of the game, it is still the magnum opus for Super Mario Sunshine mods, and will likely be the first thing people will talk about when you mention Mario Sunshine ROM hacks. Everyone that worked on this ROM hack should be so incredibly proud of themselves. The only true complaint I have about this game is that there was a lack of giant inflated Bowser farts. Like, guys, Eclipse, what the hell was that about?